Hey guys, Sophie from Soil+Spore here, and today I'm going to show you what you can plant in August, Australia, for a harvest during your springtime. So a lot of people refer to early spring, mid-spring as the hungry gap, and that is because often we don't have anything to harvest in that time because we're busy germinating seeds during the early spring, and it's not so easy to germinate things before that period. So today I'm going to show you a few things that you can grow either all year round or in this period of the year. For those in Australia, I'm living in South Australia, so we've got slightly different climates between our states, and South Australia tends to be a milder climate than some of the other states. So I'm going to get started and tell you what we're going to be growing. So I've got Bonsai Thai, which is an Asian green. It's a really fast growing Asian green, really good for stir fries. I have some purple pak choi, same kind of thing, so really good for your Asian stir fries and soups, so on. We've got some Brussels sprouts, so we've got the Long Island Brussels here, and they're an improved formula. And I've got some green sprouting broccoli. I've got some cauliflower, the Snowball Deluxe variety, and I've also got a variety of winter and autumn tomatoes, so early fruiting tomatoes. So when I'm planting my seeds, I use just a basic all-purpose potting mix. In my opinion, it's more important what you put the seed plugs into. So if you've got a really nice prepared garden bed, that can work well. I've just started a new one behind me, but it's covered up by these bags here, which have Jerusalem artichokes in them, because I'm having some trouble with blackbirds at the moment. So just trying to keep all of the mulch and things in its place until it breaks down a little more. But we're going to get started by filling up our seed tray. So our seedling tray is filled and we're ready to plant our seedlings. I'm also going to be writing some little labels with just some plastic from yogurt containers that I've chopped up, and then they'll sit in the tops of the seed trays so we know what we're germinating. The one thing to keep in mind when you're planting your broccoli, your Brussels and your cauliflower is that they're all brassicas. So when they actually go into the ground, they do change the nutrient content of that, and they can be harmful to other plants. So make sure you do your research before you pop them in the ground, or if you're like me and are happy to grow things in containers, pop them in containers separate from other veg. Okay. And now it's time to write your labels. So I just use a Sharpie on these, pop them in there, and then you know what you're growing. Some other things you can grow all year round are things like carrots. You've got perennial herbs like sorrel here. There's two types of sorrel, red veined and green veined sorrel. You can grow lettuces. I like growing kale a lot of the year around. These are only seedlings at the moment. And I'll come and show you some other things as well. This is one of my favorites. This is perpetual spinach. It's a perennial when it's looked after properly. I grow it in the cooler months here. I use it in curries, soups, stir fries, pretty much any way you would use your normal spinach. And the trick is just to harvest about 30% of the leaves at each harvest so that you don't kill the plant. Now this one's going into flower. There it is. This one's going into flower. This plant is already 2 years old though, so I'll show you some other younger plants. Now it's a little bit of a jungle in this trellis system here, but that is on purpose because if you've watched my first video about growing wine cap mushrooms, this is the exact spot that they will pop up. And I'm going to show you a few things that I've got here ready for the Hungry Gap. So I've actually got some beautiful broad beans, and they've been growing really well all throughout the winter, and they are just kind of popping up along here at the back. And behind me I've got some snow peas, and in front of me I've got a huge lot of your sugar snap peas as well. There's one there. I mean, there's nothing like it, is it? When you can come outside and just, there's another one, eat straight from the tree. It's amazing. So sweet, so crunchy, so juicy, amazing. So here is another bunch of perpetual spinach. Now I only took a harvest from this last night, so it's looking a little bit sad. You can see where I've like gone and chopped the leaves off, but this is one of the best producers for me at the moment. Behind it I've got a little tiny baby rhubarb, which is a bit of an ode to my grandmother, and I'm gonna let this oregano here sort of creep along and fill up these spaces because I really like the smell of it. And I really enjoy just being able to come out and pick fresh herbs. Just here, I've got some spring onions, which I've had to put a fence of pots around to protect them from the blackbirds, because the blackbirds are being a little bit greedy at the moment, and they're taking everything from me. So I'm just protecting them as best as I can without trying to scare off the birds. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you today is the wombok. It's a great thing. I grow this all year round. I grew this one throughout winter, and it maybe took, you know, 6, 7, 8 weeks maybe to come into maturity, but I can use it in so many things: salads, soups, stir fries, curries as well. It's a really versatile plant. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the second video for this channel, what to plant in Australia in August to fill the Hungry Gap. And go along, like and subscribe. That would be a huge help to me. And you can also find me on Instagram at Soil+Spore. Thanks. See you later.